Okay, so I'm just stood in front of what we call our dry cow shed, and this is a shed we had built in 2011, and what it was built for is to keep cattle in, which are called dry cows, which cows are not being milked and are near calving, and the best thing for them is actually to be separated from the milking herd and have a sort of different feeding regime, and also some space if they're going to calve, to, you know, a sort of tranquil space to calve in. So we built this shed, and I'd forgotten actually that I did film it when we were building it, and it's only recently I stumbled across the footage that I'd put onto a laptop and forgotten about, and I meant to edit. So I've actually put it together in a series of videos now, which are up on YouTube to have a look at. So this is the first time really that I started filming on the farm, so it said 2011, and there are occasions when I didn't actually capture everything of the building process because I wasn't always around, and also, you know, I was learning as I went with the video camera. I realised now probably what I would do if I was doing it again, I'd maybe try and chat to some of the people doing the building work and just, you know, ask them what they're doing, and also maybe close-ups of things, you know, maybe a bit more close-up, like when you put some bolts together or something like that, I'm not sure. But I did pretty well capture everything from ground up, more or less. So have a look at the videos and see what you think. I'm really pleased that I did do it actually, because you soon forget what it's like to build a shed and how things have changed. And if you look at it, the first video, you'll see maybe a little snapshot of my little lad Jack when he was, I think, only about 3 years old. And also there's a brief glimpse of my dad and Rusty the dog in there, which both aren't with us anymore. So anyway, have a look at the videos, and I hope you enjoy them. Here we are then. There's the site of a new shed that's going to be built in the next year. Bit of a mess at the moment. What we're going to do is we're going to build an extension on that. So there's the silage barn there, and we're going to come down here where those sort of stones are with the start of it. Hopefully here then there'll be a sort of concrete base, and it'll probably come out to about here. And the idea is that we'll build an extra cattle shed to put some cattle in for next winter, because we were a bit tight in some of our buildings. You can see I'm having a lovely good burn up there with a bit of rubbish, bits of wood left over in the field and stuff. So a bit of a tidy up really before we start doing it. I don't really like concreting over the countryside, but there's a point where you do need a few sort of sheds for space. Hopefully it won't detract from the view that much, because we're putting it on the lean-to rather than just whacking a shed out into the kind of middle of the field. And there's the rest of the farm. Green and pleasant. Diggers just arrived to start work on the new shed. So this would start doing the footings. Start work tomorrow. Jack. And this is the site of the new shed. Well, the bloke should be starting tomorrow. I imagine he'll move all those stones because they're in the way, and then he'll sort of level the site. And this is Jack come to survey the scene. Alright, Jack? You having a nice time at the farm?
Yeah.
What have you seen just now?
House.
And what else did you see?
Tigger.
And what else? A big yellow thing in the yard.
Digger.
Yeah, digger.
Digger at one.
Yeah.
I got Digger home.
You have, haven't you? Little
Mine.
toy digger.
It's Digger.
It's a big digger.
Yeah.
Here you are then, down at the building site. This is all done last week while I was off. I did manage to nip back and film the digger clearing the site, or just finishing clearing the site. While I was away, they poured the foundations there. So as far as I can tell, I think they're going to bolt the uprights onto there. The steels, as they call them. And then we go further down, there's another one there. And then another one there, look. Right across the back. Block work up the side here. And then wooden slats on the side. Here. And gates, I think there's a gate there. There's a gate there. And concrete walls. So, well, they've gone back to cut the metal now, apparently. So that'll be another couple of weeks. And then it's going to be sent off to galvanised dipping so it doesn't rust. Then they'll come back, put it all up, put the frame up, and I think then we've got to, when it's all finished, we'll have to do the concreting, or get someone to do the concreting. In the meantime, though, I've got to move all those blooming tyres. Well, got to move some of the tyres now for the guys to come in tomorrow and start building the shed, so unfortunately, a bit of labouring. There we go, I think that's enough tyres on that trailer. There's still plenty more to shift here though. You're probably wondering why we keep so many tyres on the farm. Well, all these are used in about May time to put keep the sheet down on the silage clamp, and also on the maize clamp in about October. They're quite useful as weights to keep the air out. And normally they're stacked up here until May. But unfortunately, because of the building work, we're going to move them. But you can see there's a lot of tyres on this farm. Some of these are pretty old, like some old, what do they call them, radial tyres, I think. Probably haven't been on the road since the 70s, these. The old cross plies and everything. Some unusual tread here. We did have to get rid of a few of these earlier in the year because they had a lot of wire poking out of them, which is a bit of a hazard, because you can possibly get in the cow's gut. So we had to pay a bloke £1.50 a tyre for disposal. It cost us about 400 quid in the end. Anyway, these are now being moved, ready for use later. Timber for the roof of the shed's just arrived unexpectedly, so we're going to be unloading that on the side of the well, I think we're going to put it in the silage barn, stack it out of the way. On Truss timber. apart from half a ton of wood on the floor.